Hey, if your libido or sexual energy isn't where you want it, then stay tuned because today what I'm going to talk about are the 6 sexual energy killers, what they are and what you can do about it. And hey, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and for the last 20 years I've been a men's performance coach with African Fly, the liquid aphrodisiac. And as a coach, of course, we got to talk about the things that affect you that you're maybe not thinking about. And that's what we're going to cover today. Specifically, what I'm going to talk about today is what happens when you don't have contact with other people and when you're in a toxic relationship and everything in between. And as a bonus, I'm going to tell you how to get into a high state of energy and stay there. And of course, I'm going to give a shout out to the Nephew Nation and my Uptown Uncles, Nephew Nation, the guys who are open to learning new things and applying them, and my Uptown Uncles, the guys who've got that experience and are willing to share their successes and their failures in the comment section below. So as always, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so we can get some more of this information to you. And what I'm going to do is break this down till it cannot be broken anymore. All right, let's talk about the energy in sexual energy. And when we're talking about sexual energy, for men specifically, we're talking about you, your ability to give life. That's what you're here for. That's what you're here on the planet for. I know it's not the hobbies, it's not TV, it's not sports. It's your ability to replicate with a woman by giving life so she can give birth. Now, what sexual energy is really just feeling horny. It's your enthusiasm, that motivation, that drive to have sex. And of course, sexual energy can be very intense and sometimes hard to control, but it can override fears and make you do things that you normally wouldn't do. That energy can be channeled into making you more fearless, more creative, spiritual, powerful, attractive, and actually have less depression, which all goes into making you want to have sex. Now, let's break down the energy part because humans absorb energy in a variety of ways. Obviously, the first being air. If you're without air for 3 minutes, you're not going to make it. If you're out without water for 3 days, you got issues. If you're without food for 2 to 3 months, you'll run into some serious problems. And as far as the sun and the earth are concerned, yeah, you can last a long time without them, but your health is going to suffer. I want you to remember that because we're going to loop back to that towards the end. All right, so let's get into those sexual energy robbers. And of course, the first one that most guys think about is masturbation. Now, masturbation does lower your energy. I did a video about masturbation. Please go check that out. Now, when it comes to masturbation, of course, it does mess with your dopamine. It does do things to your brain. If you're looking at a lot of porn, there's a whole bunch of videos out there about no fap. But one of the things to remember, of course, is that it actually does lower your energy. That's the reason why you can't have sex all day and you can't masturbate all day. When it comes to masturbation, I'm not either for it or against it. There are reasons why people have been doing this all throughout humanity and why people are still doing it today. But if it is causing you an issue, just try giving it up. On to our second one, which is toxic relationships. Ooh, if you had one of those, you know what I'm talking about. Now, of course, this can happen to both men and women, and more than likely, sometimes at the same time. Now, a person who's close to you, who's manipulating your emotions and making you feel bad and things like that, of course, that's going to lower your sexual energy. Now, I had an ex who, well, we got into an argument every week. And so, yeah, that didn't last well and it caused so many problems. Now, we had sex a lot, but even till now, I can't remember and don't want to remember it because it all came with an argument, a toxic relationship. So here's a question to ask yourself. At the end of the day, after you've had sex, the next day, are you feeling better? Is your life better? Was it worth it? Now, here's one that a lot of people don't think about. It's really not having human contact. And for men, we're different than a lot of other people in terms of if you're single or even if you're in a relationship, sometimes you're in a relationship, that's the only person you can touch. You know, when we meet another dude, it's like, yeah, we dap him up. We got the hand right there in the middle. Then we hug him. If it's really a big celebration, then you do a full hug. Outside of that, who else are you allowed to touch? You know, a woman can walk up to another woman, they give hugs and they touch each other all the time, no problem. A woman can walk up to another person with a baby, say, oh, can I hold your baby? If I walked up to your wife and said, hey, can I hold your baby? Now, here's two things that have been studied. They had rhesus monkeys. They took a rhesus monkey baby after it was born. They kept the baby by itself just to see what would happen. They gave up that experiment in 3 weeks because the baby went insane and started biting itself. On the opposite end, it's just a known fact that for seniors, as seniors are in a senior home or something like that, where they don't have physical contact, they actually die sooner. So physical contact does make a difference. If you're not having that sexual energy that you would like to have, well, there's a couple of things you can do, especially if there's someone that you're near. Have all day foreplay. That's where you're talking to the person, mentioning sex, and when you get together, get that physical contact going so that you can increase your sexual energy and libido. All right, let's go into the most obvious one, which is low hormones, specifically low testosterone. Of course, the bursting and burning of testosterone is what fuels erections. So if your body chemistry is out of whack because you're not taking care of yourself, basically, then you're going to have lower sexual energy. Your sexual energy really is, on a chemical level, really fueled by that testosterone. So you need to have that up. Of course, you can check down in the links below. We do have our connection with Let's Get Checked, the people who do home testosterone kits. Check them out and you'll be able to test yourself to see where your testosterone level is. Now let's talk about the most obvious one and the most confusing one, which is food. To get energy, you must consume energy and not death. And that's where a lot of people get confused. When you go to the grocery store, there's that one aisle with just fruits and vegetables. That's all energy. Now, here's the things to remember about the foods that create energy. One, they come out of the ground for free, which is why a food desert is always confusing to me. Unless it's an actual desert, if there's grass there, you can grow food. Just get to planting. So just to go back to what I was talking about earlier about air and earth and sun. Well, basically the food that you want to have grew up in that environment. So when you plant a seed, it's in the earth. It needs the sun to grow. It also needs water to grow, and it's growing in air. That's where all the energy comes from. Make sure you're eating that. And let's just go ahead and hit the last one, the most obvious one, which is lack of exercise. Guys, you know that exercise increases testosterone, makes you feel better, gives you more energy. It is a natural sexual energy booster. Make sure you get your exercise in. And also remember, and this is highly important, sexual appeal is needed in order for sexual energy to come about. So you have to ask yourself this question. Are you irresistible? Is the person that you're with irresistible? And when it comes to working out, you know, I know how we guys get. Sometimes we get lazy on it. We don't do the working out and we're looking at our partner and saying, why is she turned on? Is it that you're not irresistible? You have to get to the gym. You have to take care of your body, make yourself irresistible, and the sexual energy for both of you will be going up. And just remember, the mirror doesn't lie. She may lie to you, but the mirror doesn't lie. All right, let's hop into that bonus, which is getting you into a high state of sexual energy. And when we're talking about that, well, first, let's look at a state of depression. What's that like? If you were depressed, well, basically your shoulders would be down, you'd be looking down, your voice would be lower, you're sort of mumbling, not really paying attention. If you're in a state of energy, well, your shoulders are up, you're looking directly at the person, you have that confidence, that swag. That's what you need to have high sexual energy. In fact, not only Tony Robbins has been saying this for years, but Harvard University has done a study which shows that if you're hitting that basic Superman pose, you're actually increasing your testosterone. Just doing it for 2 minutes will increase your testosterone levels by 20%. Now imagine if you're doing that all the time, just having your testosterone levels kicked up. If you're looking depressed, then your sexual energy is depressed. If you get your physical state into a state of energy, then you'll have that sexual energy growing in you. And just remember, the reason why women are so attracted to men with confidence is because it is showing that sexual energy. So basically what I want you to do is do that Conor McGregor swag, that walk that he does. That is full control of your body. That is full control of the room, saying, I don't care who else is here. I'm in charge. I have this. That level of confidence, carry that with you. Your sexual energy will just keep piling up. All right. So in conclusion, just remember, as a man, You're here to produce life. Your sexual energy produces life. You have to respect that. Sexual energy is that intense feeling like you're feeling horny, and it can also be directed into other things. Now, the sexual energy robbers include masturbation, toxic relationships, no physical contact, low testosterone, a diet of bad food, a lack of exercise, which can lead you to not being irresistible. And of course, that bonus, which is practice being in that high state of sexual energy. You can do it. Question of the day, is there anything I left out in terms of sexual energy and libido robbers? Leave that in the comment section below. And remember, check me out every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time so we can break down this information in more detail and you can ask your questions. Now, if you like what you heard, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so we can get some more of this information to you. And this is Uncle B saying, get your game up. Peace out.